The 1794 no-mint Mark $1 coin stands as one of the most historically significant pieces in American numismatics, often regarded as the coin that began the long and proud tradition of the U.S. silver dollar. Minted during the early days of the United States Mint, this coin was struck in Philadelphia, which at the time was the first and only functioning mint facility in the country. Because of this, the coin carries no mint mark, as mint marks were unnecessary until branch mints were established later in the 19th century. The 1794 dollar is legendary not only for being among the earliest silver dollars, but also for embodying the spirit of the newly independent United States. Each specimen represents a tangible piece of the nation's formative years, capturing a moment in time when the United States was striving to establish a credible currency system that reflected its sovereignty and economic independence. The historical background of the 1794 silver dollar is one of deep significance. Following the Coinage Act of 1792, the United States authorized the production of its first official coins, and the dollar denomination was intended to serve as the backbone of the country's economy. Prior to this, the young nation relied heavily on foreign coinage, particularly Spanish dollars, which circulated widely in colonial America. The minting of the 1794 silver dollar marked a decisive step toward creating a unified monetary system, one that could inspire confidence at home and abroad. For this reason, collectors and historians alike place immense importance on the 1794 no-mint mark $1 coin, recognizing it as more than just a piece of silver. It is a milestone in America's journey toward becoming an independent and respected nation. Rarity is another element that makes the 1794 silver dollar so desirable among collectors. Estimates suggest that only around 1,750 examples were originally struck, and of these, only about 130 to 150 survive in various states of preservation today. Many of these surviving coins are heavily worn or damaged, reflecting the fact that they circulated extensively in the early years of the Republic. Uncirculated examples are incredibly rare, and high-grade specimens can command astronomical prices at auction, often reaching into the millions of dollars. However, circulated pieces in more modest conditions are still considered treasures and can bring significant sums depending on their grade, provenance, and eye appeal. Even in lower condition, a 1794 silver dollar holds immense historical value that far outweighs its silver content. In today's collector market, an example of the 1794 no-mint Mark $1 in a decent circulated grade can command around $500, though this figure can rise exponentially for coins that exhibit greater detail or have been certified by grading services such as NGC or PCGS. The design of the 1794 silver dollar further enhances its appeal. The obverse features a portrait of Liberty with flowing hair, facing right, a design attributed to Robert Scott, the first chief engraver of the United States Mint. The flowing hair design was intended to symbolize freedom and liberty, concepts at the very core of the new American identity. Surrounding Liberty are 15 stars representing the 15 states of the Union at the time, with the date positioned below. The reverse displays an eagle surrounded by a wreath, another powerful symbol of the young nation's ideals. While the artwork may appear somewhat simplistic by modern standards, it carried a profound message to citizens and foreign powers alike. America was here to stay, and it was ready to define its presence with its own official coinage. Collectors today admire this design not only for its artistry, but also for its patriotic symbolism. Another factor that adds depth to the story of the 1794 silver dollar is its production quality. The mint in 1794 was still in its infancy, and technical limitations meant that many of the coins were weakly struck, especially on the left side of the obverse. This weakness is common across surviving examples and does not necessarily detract from a coin's value. In fact, it serves as a hallmark of the series and a reminder of the mint's growing pains during its early years. Numismatists often study these striking characteristics to better understand the technology, techniques, and challenges faced by the first U.S. coin makers. This adds yet another layer of fascination to the 1794 dollar, making it not just a collector's item, but also a valuable artifact for historical and technical research. Provenance plays a particularly important role when it comes to the 1794 silver dollar. Many of the surviving specimens have been passed down through generations of collectors, and some have been part of famous collections that are well documented in numismatic history. Coins with a strong provenance often bring higher prices, as collectors value not only the coin itself, but also the story of its ownership. This sense of continuity adds romance to collecting, as each new custodian of a 1794 dollar becomes part of a centuries-old chain of preservation and appreciation. It is this connection to history, both national and personal, that drives much of the passion behind rare coin collecting. The cultural and economic significance of the 1794 dollar also cannot be overstated. In the late 18th century, the establishment of a reliable national currency was vital to the credibility of the United States. By minting its own silver dollar, the country signaled to the world that it was capable of producing a stable medium of exchange backed by precious metals. This helped to foster trust in the U.S. economy and reduce dependence on foreign coins. For modern collectors, owning a 1794 dollar is akin to holding a piece of that financial foundation in their hands. It is a reminder of the struggles and triumphs of the early republic, a time when every institution was being built from the ground up. Market demand for the 1794 no-mint Mark $1 continues to be robust. With limited supply and ever-increasing interest in early American coinage, prices for these coins have remained strong over the years. While top-grade examples set record-breaking auction prices, even coins in lower grades remain highly desirable and retain their value well. The market value of around $500 for an average condition example today reflects both its scarcity and its immense historical importance. Collectors view it not only as an investment, but also as a priceless artifact of American history. As interest in numismatics grows, particularly among younger generations discovering the hobby, demand for coins like the 1794 silver dollar is expected to remain steady, if not increase further. In conclusion, the 1794 no-mint Mark $1 is much more than an old piece of silver. It is a cornerstone of American numismatics, a symbol of the nation's early struggles and aspirations, and a rare treasure that continues to inspire collectors around the world. Its lack of a mint mark ties it directly to the original Philadelphia Mint, while its design reflects the ideals of liberty and independence cherished by the founders of the United States. With only a small number of surviving specimens, its rarity ensures lasting demand, and its market value of $500 in average condition makes it a highly desirable acquisition for collectors. Beyond its monetary worth, the 1794 silver dollar serves as a link to America's earliest days, embodying the determination of a young nation to carve out its place in the world. For anyone fortunate enough to hold one, it is not merely a coin, but a tangible piece of history, a treasure that bridges the gap between the past and the present, and a reminder of the enduring power of money to tell the story of a people. Next up, the 1801 no-mint Mark $1 coin stands as a significant treasure in American numismatic history, and its story is one that continues to capture the imagination of collectors, historians, and coin enthusiasts worldwide. Minted during the early years of the United States, this coin is part of the famous draped bust dollar series, which was struck from 1795 to 1804, and is admired for its artistry, rarity, and historical weight. The 1801 issue, bearing no mint mark as was customary at the time since all coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, reflects not only the nation's early economic struggles, but also its determination to build a strong financial identity. At first glance, the coin features an elegant depiction of Liberty on the obverse, with her flowing hair tied with a ribbon, facing right, and surrounded by 13 stars representing the original colonies. Above her head is the word Liberty, while below rests the year 1801, anchoring the design in its era. On the reverse, the majestic heraldic eagle is displayed with outstretched wings, holding arrows and an olive branch in its talons to symbolize both readiness for defense and the pursuit of peace. A shield covers the eagle's breast, a representation of national unity, while a cluster of stars forms above its head, surrounded by clouds, and the inscription, United States of America. This coin does not have a denomination mark on the reverse because it was understood at the time that its size, weight, and silver content represented $1. Collectors today prize this coin for the remarkable way in which it reflects early U.S. coinage artistry, as well as the historical conditions under which it was minted. The absence of a mint mark confirms its origin from the Philadelphia Mint, which was the only U.S. mint in operation during that era, further enhancing its authenticity as an early piece of the nation's monetary legacy. What makes the 1801 Mint Mark $1 coin so captivating is not just its design, but its context within early American history. The United States was still a young republic in 1801, struggling to establish its economic independence after the Revolutionary War. The Mint Act of 1792 had only recently created the U.S. Mint, and officials were determined to produce coinage that could inspire trust both at home and abroad. The draped bust dollar was one of the most important denominations because the silver dollar was the largest circulating coin of its time, often used in international trade and seen as a symbol of national credibility. Every 1801 silver dollar was struck from nearly 27 grams of silver, a weight that reflected the standard of value at the time and gave the coin its substantial presence in the hand. Unlike modern coinage, these early dollars were not produced in vast quantities, and many were melted down over the years, making surviving examples relatively scarce today. Because of this, collectors often look for these coins in various grades, from heavily circulated to well-preserved examples. Even in lower conditions, the 1801 no mint mark $1 holds immense value due to its age, rarity, and symbolic importance. In today's numismatic market, an 1801 silver dollar can fetch around $600 in average circulated condition, though higher grades and rare varieties can sell for far more, sometimes reaching thousands of dollars at major auctions. Another factor contributing to the desirability of the 1801 silver dollar is its place within the draped bust series. Designed by Robert Scott, the first chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, this coin design was meant to embody neoclassical ideals of beauty and strength. The flowing hair of liberty, combined with the regal eagle on the reverse, provided a sense of dignity to America's coinage at a time when the young nation was eager to prove its cultural sophistication to the rest of the world. The 1801 issue came at the start of Thomas Jefferson's presidency, marking a pivotal moment in American politics and culture. The Jeffersonian era emphasized democratic ideals and westward expansion, and coins like the 1801 silver dollar served as both practical currency and symbolic representations of those values. Holding such a coin is like holding a piece of that transformative era in American history, when the United States was defining its identity and asserting itself on the world stage. Collectors often remark that owning an 1801 silver dollar feels like owning a direct connection to the Founding Fathers' generation, since the coin would have circulated in an economy still very much shaped by their policies and decisions. The rarity of the 1801 no mint mark $1 coin further enhances its allure. Historical records indicate that just over 54,000 silver dollars were struck in 1801, a relatively small number compared to modern mintages. Considering the wear, melting, and loss over more than 2 centuries, only a fraction of those original coins survive today. This limited supply naturally drives up the value of surviving pieces, especially in higher grades. While average circulated examples hover around $600 in today's market, those in well-preserved condition with sharp details and minimal wear can sell for significantly more. Auction records show that mint state examples, though extremely rare, have fetched tens of thousands of dollars, underscoring the incredible demand for this early American silver dollar. Even coins with notable wear are highly sought after because they remain tangible artifacts of America's earliest years. The fact that a collector can hold a piece of silver struck over 220 years ago during Jefferson's presidency and at the dawn of the 19th century makes it an object of fascination and pride for any collection. In addition to its historical and financial value, the 1801 silver dollar is admired for its sheer artistry. The draped bust design is widely considered one of the most elegant motifs in U.S. coinage, combining classical influence with American symbolism. The portrait of Liberty, said to have been inspired by Philadelphia socialite Anne Willing Bingham, conveys grace and strength, while the heraldic eagle on the reverse echoes designs used on the Great Seal of the United States. The combination of these elements created a coin that was not only functional, but also deeply symbolic of national identity. Collectors often appreciate these early coins as miniature works of art, struck during a time when every die was hand-engraved and subtle. Variations added uniqueness to each coin. These artistic qualities make the 1801 silver dollar especially appealing, as it embodies both craftsmanship and history in a way that few objects can. The market for the 1801 no-mint Mark $1 remains strong today, reflecting ongoing demand among numismatists and investors alike. While $600 is considered a reasonable market value for an average circulated example, collectors know that the true worth of such a coin extends far beyond its monetary price. It represents a rare opportunity to own a piece of early American history, a connection to the people and events of the early 1800s, and a tangible reminder of the nation's struggle for economic independence and unity. Because of these factors, the 1801 silver dollar is often described as both a collectible and an investment, with values that have steadily appreciated over the years. As the availability of these coins diminishes further with time, their market value is likely to increase, making them not only historically important, but also financially rewarding assets for those fortunate enough to acquire them. In conclusion, the 1801 no-mint Mark $1 coin is much more than an old piece of silver. It is a historic artifact from the dawn of the 19th century, a symbol of America's early identity, and a collector's prize that commands respect and admiration. With its current market value of around $600 in average condition, it offers an accessible entry point into the world of early U.S. coinage, while higher-grade examples continue to inspire awe with their rarity and beauty. The coin's connection to Jefferson's presidency, its classical design, and its limited mintage all contribute to its enduring appeal. For collectors, holding an 1801 silver dollar is like stepping back in time, touching the very metal that circulated in the days when America was still carving out its place in the world. That combination of history, artistry, rarity, and financial value ensures that the 1801 no-mint Mark $1 will remain a cherished and sought-after treasure for generations to come. Next up, the 1922 no-mint Mark $1 coin is a legendary piece in American numismatics, a coin that instantly captures attention not only because of its age, but because of its powerful connection to the era in which it was minted and the extraordinary rarity of certain varieties. Struck in the aftermath of World War I, during a time when the United States was solidifying its place as a global economic power, the 1922 dollar belongs to the iconic Peace Dollar series, which was produced from 1921 to 1935. Designed by Anthony De Francisi, the peace dollar was introduced to symbolize the nation's desire for peace following the devastation of the Great War, and its imagery perfectly reflects that aspiration. On the obverse, the coin features a left-facing portrait of Lady Liberty, her hair swept back and crowned with a radiant tiara of sunbeams, giving her an almost divine appearance. Above her head is the word liberty, while to the left is the motto, "In God We Trust, using the classical V in place of the letter U, a design choice that echoes ancient Roman inscriptions. At the bottom sits the year 1922, anchoring the coin to its specific moment in history. The reverse design is equally striking, showing a majestic bald eagle at rest on a rock, holding an olive branch in its talons, with rays of the rising sun spreading across the background. Above the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America and E pluribus unum, while the denomination $1 is clearly inscribed below. Unlike coins minted in Denver or San Francisco, this version bears no mint mark, identifying it as being struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the nation's original minting facility. What makes this coin especially fascinating is not simply its design, but the fact that 1922 was one of the most heavily produced years for peace dollars, with millions struck, yet certain rare variations, particularly those with missing or unusual features, can transform an otherwise common coin into a piece worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The standard 1922 no mint mark peace dollar is common in circulated grades, but special varieties such as the 1922 no mint mark high relief or coins with unique strike characteristics are the ones that attract fierce bidding wars among collectors. Even in typical circulated condition, the market value of an appealing 1922 no mint mark peace dollar averages around $700 today, though higher grades and rare varieties can fetch significantly more at auctions. The historical significance of the 1922 no mint mark $1 coin cannot be overstated. This coin was issued during the presidency of Warren G. Harding and later Calvin Coolidge, at a time when the United States was emerging as a modern industrial nation. The early 1920s were marked by rapid economic growth, technological innovation, and shifting cultural dynamics, and the peace dollar was a symbol of the country's forward-looking optimism. The very name peace dollar reflects the public's hope that the horrors of World War I would never be repeated, and this coin served as a reminder of peace and prosperity. Interestingly, the original 1921 peace dollar was struck in high relief, with deeply engraved features that gave the coin a bold, sculptural appearance. However, this high-relief design proved impractical for mass production as it caused excessive die wear and striking difficulties. In 1922, the design was modified to a lower relief to allow for easier minting, which is why the 1922 peace dollar is far more common in its standard form. But a small number of 1922 high-relief coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint before the design change, and those rare survivors are among the most coveted coins in all of American numismatics. This is where the true mystique of the 1922 no mint mark peace dollar lies. Ordinary examples may be common, but the rare high-relief varieties and special strike errors elevate it into the realm of the extraordinary. These rare specimens can fetch prices well into the tens of thousands, showing how a small difference in production can dramatically impact a coin's value. Even without the high-relief rarity, the 1922 no mint mark peace dollar is cherished by collectors for its artistry and historical context. Anthony de Francisi's design was chosen through a national competition, and his youthful wife Teresa served as the model for Liberty's portrait. Her serene yet powerful face perfectly embodied the nation's vision of peace and strength, making the coin both a piece of monetary history and a work of art. Every detail, from the flowing strands of Liberty's hair to the dignified stance of the eagle, communicates a sense of renewal and stability after a turbulent era. Collectors often emphasize that holding a 1922 peace dollar is like holding a tangible reminder of the hopes and ideals of post-war America, when the country was navigating its new role as a world leader. The absence of a mint mark on this coin, a feature of Philadelphia mint strikes, enhances its historical authenticity since Philadelphia was the heart of American coin production in the early 20th century. For modern collectors, the lack of a mint mark is a distinguishing factor, helping them identify the coin's origin and place it within the broader peace dollar series. The market value of the 1922 no-mint Mark $1 coin reflects its enduring appeal. While standard circulated examples can sometimes be found for less, the average market value sits around $700 for coins in strong, collectible condition, and the price climbs sharply for higher grades. Uncirculated coins, especially those certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS, can command significantly more, with prices ranging into the thousands depending on the coin's luster, strike quality, and absence of wear. The rare high-relief versions, as mentioned earlier, are in an entirely different league, with prices that can exceed $100,000 at major auctions. Even coins with unusual errors, such as die breaks, off-center strikes, or weak strikes, carry premium values because they add uniqueness to what is already a historically important issue. Collectors view the 1922 peace dollar not only as an investment, but as a centerpiece of any serious U.S. coin collection, given its role in commemorating peace and its prominence as one of the most iconic silver dollars ever struck. One of the most fascinating aspects of the 1922 no-mint Mark peace dollar is its role in bridging the gap between the old and the new in American coinage. Prior to the peace dollar, the United States had struck the Morgan dollar for decades, a coin that represented the industrial and expansionist spirit of the late 19th century. The peace dollar, in contrast, was modern, sleek, and infused with symbolism relevant to a post-war world. This transition is significant because it shows how coinage serves as more than just currency. It is also a reflection of national identity, values, and aspirations. For this reason, collectors often prize the 1922 issue not only for its numismatic qualities, but also for its cultural meaning. It is a coin that carries with it the story of a nation at a crossroads, moving beyond the scars of war and toward a vision of peace, progress, and prosperity. The survival rate of 1922 peace dollars is relatively high compared to earlier silver dollars, since so many were produced. But finding examples in pristine condition remains a challenge. Silver dollars circulated widely in the 1920s and 1930s, often sustaining heavy wear, bag marks, and scratches. This makes well-preserved examples particularly desirable, as they showcase the full beauty of de Francisi's design. Collectors today carefully study the details of Liberty's hair, the sharpness of the eagle's feathers, and the radiance of the sun's rays to judge the quality of a specimen. Certified grading plays a critical role in the market value of these coins, and many collectors seek pieces that have been authenticated and encapsulated by professional services. This not only assures authenticity, but also provides an objective assessment of condition, helping buyers and sellers determine fair market value. In conclusion, the 1922 no-mint Mark $1 coin is a masterpiece of American coinage that continues to inspire awe and admiration more than a century after it was struck. With its graceful design, symbolic significance, and connection to a pivotal era in U.S. history, it is a coin that embodies far more than its silver content. Its market value of around $700 for collectible examples reflects both its accessibility and its desirability, while rarer high-relief varieties and pristine specimens reach values that astonish even seasoned collectors. Whether viewed as a historical artifact, a work of art, or an investment, the 1922 no-mint Mark peace dollar holds a special place in the hearts of numismatists and remains one of the most iconic silver dollars ever produced by the United States Mint. Next up, the 1977 D Mint. Mark $1 coin is one of the standout issues of the Eisenhower dollar series, a large and bold coin that today commands the respect of collectors due to its history, its design, and the surprising rarity of high quality, or error examples that can push its market value into the hundreds of dollars, with some reaching $900 or more in today's numismatic market. Struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D Mint mark located just above the date on the obverse side of the coin, this dollar is part of the Eisenhower dollar series issued from 1971 to 1978 to honor Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Celebrated World War II general and 34th President of the United States. The obverse of the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar features a left-facing portrait of Eisenhower, designed by Frank Gasparo, with the bold inscription, Liberty, arching across the top, the motto, In God We Trust, to the left of his profile, and the year 1977 neatly below. On the reverse is one of the most striking images in modern coinage, an eagle descending onto the surface of the moon, holding an olive branch in its talons, a design directly adapted from the Apollo 11 mission, insignia that commemorates the first moon landing. The powerful image is surrounded by inscriptions including United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination $1. Unlike Philadelphia coins that bore no mint mark, the Denver issue proudly carries the D, a detail that collectors carefully note when differentiating among Eisenhower dollars. While millions of Eisenhower dollars were struck in Denver in 1977, well over 32 million to be exact, finding pristine survivors in mint state condition or discovering rare minting errors is far more challenging than raw mintage numbers suggest, which is why the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar continues to surprise collectors with values as high as $900 in the right circumstances. The Eisenhower dollar itself holds an important place in American coinage history. It was the first large-size dollar coin issued for circulation since the peace dollar ended in 1935, and it was designed not only to honor Eisenhower, but also to celebrate the Apollo 11 moon landing, arguably one of the greatest achievements in human history. In many ways, this coin bridges America's military victory in World War II and its technological triumph in space exploration, symbolizing a proud national narrative of strength, leadership, and progress. The Denver Mint, known for its large-scale production capacity, was tasked with striking a significant share of these coins to meet circulation needs in the western United States. However, despite the huge mintage, the sheer size of the Eisenhower dollar meant that it was never popular with the public, being heavy and inconvenient for everyday use. Many coins were relegated to bank storage or government vaults, where they often acquired heavy bag marks and abrasions from clashing against each other. As a result, genuinely well-preserved examples of the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar are far scarcer than one might expect, and that scarcity translates directly into collector premiums today. For numismatists, the 1977 D. Eisenhower dollar is prized, not only as part of the larger Eisenhower series, but also for its distinctive Denver characteristics. Collectors often compare Philadelphia and Denver strikes, noting differences in strike sharpness, luster, and surface quality. Coins from Denver frequently exhibit strong, bold strikes, but they also often suffer from heavy contact marks due to the mass production process. That is why high-grade examples, especially those graded MS-66 or higher by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, are so valuable and can command prices of $900 or more. This high market value reflects not just the quality of the coin, but also the growing recognition of the Eisenhower dollar series as an important and collectible part of U.S. numismatic history. For years, Eisenhower dollars were overlooked by collectors who favored older silver issues. But in recent decades, appreciation for the series has surged, with particular interest in varieties, mint marks, and condition rarities like the 1977 D error. Coins add another fascinating dimension to the 1977 D Eisenhower dollar. As with other coins struck in such large numbers, minting mistakes were inevitable, and these errors can significantly increase a coin's value. Examples include double die obverses or reverses, off-center strikes, plancher flaws, and die cracks. A 1977 D struck on the wrong plancher, for instance, could be worth thousands of dollars, making every search through Eisenhower dollars an exciting treasure hunt for collectors. Even less dramatic errors, such as strong die clashes where elements of the reverse design appear faintly on the obverse, are highly sought after. These varieties fuel enthusiasm for the series as they combine historical importance with the thrill of rarity. For a coin collector, finding a 1977 D Eisenhower dollar with such unique features is akin to discovering a hidden gem, and the market responds accordingly with strong premiums. The artistry of Frank Gasparo's design also plays a role in the appeal of this coin. His portrait of Eisenhower is straightforward yet commanding, reflecting Eisenhower's reputation as a steady, no-nonsense leader. The reverse design, with its lunar eagle motif, is perhaps even more significant, linking the coin directly to the Apollo 11 mission and America's success in the space race. This imagery elevates the Eisenhower dollar beyond simple currency. It becomes a cultural artifact, a commemoration of America's place on the world stage in both war and peace. Collectors value this symbolism as much as they value the metal itself, and this is part of what sustains demand for the series. The Denver Mint mark, tiny though it is, provides a tangible connection to the history of coin production in Colorado, where millions of American coins have been struck over the years. For collectors who specialize in mint mark varieties, the 1977 D is an essential piece of the puzzle. From a market perspective, the 1977 D Eisenhower dollar is steadily gaining recognition as one of the sleeper coins of the late 20th century. While lower-grade circulated examples may only fetch modest premiums, coins in superb condition can reach impressive prices, averaging around $900 in today's collector market when they are free from major flaws and exhibit strong luster and strike. Auction records confirm that collectors are willing to pay significant amounts for certified high-grade coins, and the trend suggests that values may continue to rise as interest in modern U.S. coinage expands. This is particularly true as younger generations of collectors who grew up in the era of Eisenhower and space exploration bring new energy and appreciation to the hobby. The Eisenhower dollar is no longer seen as a bulky curiosity. It is increasingly recognized as the last great large-size circulating dollar, a status that ensures its place in numismatic history. In conclusion, the 1977 D Mint Mark I coin is a remarkable artifact of American history and coinage, a piece that unites the legacy of Dwight D. Eisenhower with the triumph of the Apollo 11 moon landing, and one that has emerged as a highly collectible issue in the Eisenhower series. Struck at the Denver Mint and bearing its D mark proudly, this coin represents both mass production and rare survival, with ordinary examples being plentiful but true high-grade or error specimens commanding values of up to $900 or more. Its bold design, its role in the story of America's coinage, and its growing popularity among collectors make it a must-have for anyone serious about modern U.S. numismatics. Far more than just a dollar, the 1977 D Eisenhower coin is a tangible piece of history, a symbol of national pride, and a reminder that even relatively recent coins can hold extraordinary value when rarity, condition, and historical context align.